Evening, Bear fans. Okay, tonight we have something a little different. We've been looking at a song where I feel I might actually agree with general consensus around the meaning of the song. The thing is, to me, the song has a full cinematic experience and a backstory leading to the point in time the song represents, and a little after the song finishes. That song is Touch Me in the Morning. This song is beautiful on the surface, and if we dig a little deeper, it only gets better. Let's dive. So, the first line sets up the environment perfectly. Touch me in the morning, then just walk away. Now, this is where my brain takes over, and it may not necessarily agree with the common listener, but seeing as you're here, you aren't looking for the opinion of the common listener. For her to ask for him to touch her in the morning, then just walk away is subtly devastating. She knows that it's over. And she knows that he knows that it's over. There's no dramatics, no heated arguments, no fireworks, just him walking away. So this little heartbreak triggered a little scene in my mind. More on that later. She then doubles down on there being no future for them. We don't have tomorrow. She realises it's done. But then does something strange. She takes the blame. After she reminds him that they had yesterday, she goes on to explain that there was, sorry, yeah, I'm listening along to the song at the same time, so sometimes I get a little bit distracted. So after explaining that they had yesterday, she goes on to explain that actually she was the one with the doubts. That to me tells me it's not her ending it. It's either mutual or the man is ending it. She's reassuring him in his decision. At this point, the music behind the lyric does something strange. So you're expecting like it to be dramatic and moody and almost like bringing negative emotion. It doesn't. It swells. It's bright. It's chipper. It's not melancholic. It has hope, which isn't the message we're getting from Diana Ross at this point. To me, it symbolises that the relationship was good, really good at one point. And as the singer reflects on the good times, the music reinforces the sentiment. And there it is. That line cements the delivery. The man is breaking up with her. The line, it must have been hard to tell me that you've given all you have to give. And she doesn't mean this with anger. She doesn't meet it with agreement. Sorry, she doesn't meet it with anger. She meets it with agreement. I can understand you feeling that way. Everybody's got their life to live. I mean, this is literally a masterpiece in heartbreak. It really is. There's no other way of putting it, really. Um, yeah, the music. This song. I used to say this song was an old friend, but I've suddenly realised after analysing music that music isn't really an old friend. That Sorry about that. Headset died. Oh my days. This is a professional podcast, he lied. So, where was I? I was talking about um yes. I was talking about the fact that this is a masterpiece in breakup. Um Absolute masterclass. This is how everyone kind of agrees that a breakup should be. whereby everyone's got to the last bit, they understand, everyone's okay with it, everyone's amicable, there's no mess, no baggage, no emotion. Which, as we all know, if it's a relationship, there's going to be emotion. So, as much as we want it to end this way, it never ever does. But this seems almost too perfect. So, it does give me a feeling that they both feel the breakup is inevitable, but it's also reluctant on both sides. Neither really truly wants to give up, but they have no option, they have no choice. They have literally reached the end of the line. They can't see it go any further. They're both, I'd say, both agree to give up. So now we get the chorus. This is where it gets a little murky. She essentially tells him she can't say goodbye to him. Okay? And it's this sentiment that made her brain generate the cinematic scene. So let's look at what she says and we'll pull some threads. So she tells him she can say goodbye in the cold morning light. Now, until doing this deep dive, I always thought she said she couldn't say goodbye in the cold morning light, and then say she couldn't do it in the warmth of the night either. So it's a bit like this was an impossible set of options for the man, and kind of resulted in the breakup happening at Knutsford Services around 2:45 in the afternoon on a drizzly Tuesday. But alas, I was wrong, and it changes nothing. It's still playing emotional damage, really is. So her next line, this is the little emotional persuasion in my book. If I've got to be strong, if I've got to be strong. Now this is doing a lot of heavy lifting in my brain. Some might say it's just her way of saying that this is terrible, but I'll do it. My take is the man is completely broken by the situation, and she's being the strong one for them both. But the strength comes at a price. One last night with him. She says she needs him tonight, and then seems to answer a question with the same question back. When you're gone? Almost like he says, when I'm gone. And she's like, when you're gone? Yeah. So it's almost like the man is checking in on her already before he's even checked out properly. But she does resolve it with a simple request. The first is for her to lie there thinking about the morning, the last touch, but more on that later. But the close of this little chorus section is doing a lot of heavy lifting in my mind also. Just close the door and leave me as you found me, empty, like before. This isn't a sentence from someone who's happy with the relationship is over. In fact, it sounds almost like someone conducting psychological warfare, fighting without fighting, almost a little passive aggressive. And in a true passive aggressive nature, the reminiscent sections come back. The memories, the feelings being stirred back up. The music supports this too, with a dramatic swell before sliding back into the smoothest possible soul groove I have possibly ever heard. So, this bit of the music really plucks at the heartstrings. And then another hammer blow. She describes the fact that they took each other to places no one's ever been. I'll let you do your own conclusions on that one. Answers on a postcard. Then she hits him with the facts. She needs to be near him tonight because he'll never take her there again. I can't help but feel for this poor bloke. You know, he's really going through the ringer tonight with this. But then this next little bridge is almost where my brain made the cinematic accompaniment to this song. Just from these 4 lines. We'll get onto that in a bit, but just these 4 lines is where my brain made the entirety of what's coming up. So the 4 lines. Let me watch you go with the sun in my eyes. We've seen how love can grow. Now we see how it dies. Just have a moment with that. The song then repeats the section about being strong, but ends differently this time. So if I've got to be strong, then I'm going to have tonight when you're gone. This time, her resolution is for her to hold him until the time his hand reaches out and touches her. Notice one thing with this. All of the times something like this has come up, it's been accompanied with a finality. Okay, this time, it's not one last time you touch me, it's when your hand reaches out and touch me in the morning. No finality. It's as if all has been forgiven, everything's honky-dory, just touch me in the morning, everything's fine. It's quite hard to listen to. So this line, it hasn't got any of the finality of the previous ones. It's almost like she still has hope at winning him over. And that makes my cinematic piece a little bit more devastating. So now the song splits. It's almost like a conversation. It doesn't get heated. It feels almost like bargaining, negotiating. One side repeats the beginning of the song, talking about no tomorrow, but having yesterday. The other side explaining how none of it matters. In fact, the very last line cements it. Yesterday's gone, my love. There's only now, and it's time to face it. So in my mind, Diana Ross, the singer, the female part in this, is the one singing the beginning of the song again. But this time, we hear the man's responses. It makes it clear that he is the one doing the breakup. He's telling her, look, yeah, we might have had yesterday, but it's gone. Yesterday's gone. We can never get it back. We don't have a tomorrow. We only got now, and now is the time to face the issues, face the problems, face the finality. This is done. This is over. We are going to have to go our separate ways. Yeah, let's take a moment with that one, because that's pretty heavy. Yeah. So now we get to the cinematic experience. I imagine this is the scene the morning after the song takes place, as I feel the song takes place on a cozy evening. Do let me set the scene. Before the song starts, our couple are in a log cabin, fire roaring in front of them. They have a glass of wine and discuss the relationship. Everything's civil. Then the song starts. We get the performance of the song. There might be tears, but there isn't any anger, just acceptance. Now for the twist of the knife. In the song, at no point did anybody say goodbye. The song ends, still the night before. And as we know, she can't say goodbye in the warmth of the night, so they spend the night together. In the morning, though, the man gets up as he has done 100 times before. He gets dressed silently. Silently. As he does, he's putting on his boots. He looks over his shoulder. A single tear rolls down his cheek. He lightly lowers his hand onto her shoulder, not waking her, just putting his hand on her shoulder. He then stands, walks to the door of the cabin. He opens the door to the vastness of the open vista. Fresh snow on the ground, the sun is bright and full. He shields his eyes for a moment as they adjust. Then he pulls on his hat, starts walking through the freshly laid snow. From the light of the sunlight flooding in from the doorway, it wakes the woman. She turns, instinctively reaching out for him, and feels the gap in the bed, the empty sheets beside her. Her eyes sleepily open as she sees the distant silhouette of the man, just about to disappear behind a ridge of a hill. The woman sits up and watches him until he has completely disappeared. A tear rolls down her cheek, then another. Now, a little bit of something people don't know. I've never really told anyone this before, actually. That was what this song said to me not long after I first discovered it. I was about 8 years old when the song spoke to me. Yeah, that's what it left me with. So, anyway, join me next week for another deep dive. As always, you can follow along on the Spotify playlist. If you can't find this one, it's in the first one. If you're not listening to the first one, go listen. It's good. Um, there is a Discord as well. If you'd like to join the Discord, you don't have to, but that's where the conversation continues out of the YouTube comments and into the Discord. But until then, at least with just one thing to say. Stay cozy.